We are gathered together in this place to celebrate and witness the marriage of Corinne and Enrique. Today is a celebration of love, a commitment, of friendship, of family, and of two people who are in it forever. Corinne and Enrique, it's no accident that you are here today, and that this gathering here is invited to be here representing all the people who are important to you, individually and collectively. But I'm going to let you in on something. You don't have to have a ceremony to have a marriage. And when you think about it, this whole thing it's the most unique event that will ever happen in your life. You're standing up here looking fabulous and handsome, holding flowers or bringing flowers, being stared at by pretty much everybody who means something to you over these past 20-some years. So why do we do it? The marriage ceremony has been an important feature across nearly every culture, religion, generation, and society. We have, in fact, thousands of important moments that happen throughout our lives, but this one is regarded as one so critical that we acknowledge it with this special status by sharing it with others. But why this moment? Because despite all of our differences, love is what we all share. It's the great unifier. It's our universal truth that no matter who we are or where we come from, what we believe, we know this one thing. Love is the one thing that we get right. And that's why you both are standing here. That's why everyone is sitting out there to watch the two of you be up here. We have all loved in our lifetimes, and in this moment we're reminded that the ability to love is the very best part of our humanity. So why am I here? Well, you asked me. And because I've known Corinne since she was a toddler. Your family came to the church where I was the pastor in Imperial Beach, and there was moments on Sunday morning I would always sit on the front step of the altar and invite the children to come up, and they would all come running at various speeds. I can tell you for sure, I never imagined that cute little girl would be all grown up and coming towards me now, beautiful, and to be married. And it's been such a joy and a blessing to meet Enrique, to watch the two of you in our time together, to see the love that exists between the two of you. All of us here today have our own love stories. Some are short, others long. Some are yet unwritten, while others are just getting to the good part. And there are chapters in all of our stories that are sad or disappointing, and others that are exciting and full of excitement. And I know I don't need to tell you that the most remarkable moment in life is when you meet the person who makes you feel complete. Or in the words that you shared, the person who you hate the least. I'm glad you laughed. The person with whom you share a bond so special that it transcends normal relationships and becomes something so pure and so wonderful that you can't imagine spending another day, not even another second in your life without them. And I know how deeply the two of you care and love each other, and I'm privileged to be here. In fact, I'm holding the book that your father, Corinne, used to perform wedding ceremonies over the years. We are all privileged to be here today as a witness of your commitment to a lifetime of love for one another. So as an outsider to your developing love, it is though extremely clear that the two of you represent a perfect pairing because of you complete each other. You know, they say that you complete each other, you balance one another. You're pretty wonderful by yourselves, mind you, but together you're even better. And being better together as a team, a unit, dare I say partners in crime, that's what has been the years in the making. and ultimately leads us to being here today to witness your commitment to one another in front of these gorgeous people who love you the most. And that brings you both here. I know many thoughts are going through your head right now. I can't even imagine. But it is a time to pause, to look back and smile at all the moments that brought you here. And yet look ahead to all the moments that are yet to be. So I'm here. We're all here because we want those moments for you. We're here to hope with you, to support you, to be proud of you, and to remind you that love isn't happily ever after. Love is the experience of writing your story. It's not one moment, it's not even this moment, it's every moment. Big ones like saying, I love you, moving in together, getting engaged, but mostly the million little ones that come in between the big moments. Falling asleep next to one another, spending holidays with your families, binge watching Netflix shows, getting a big hug when you come home from work. These everyday moments fuse together into one big experience. And even though this experience is so incredible, words fail us when we try to explain it. And that's just how love is. It's meant to be felt, not described. But trying to describe love is one of our favorite pastimes. We use the words we have to write stories and poems and songs about love. And even though we describe love in different ways, and even though love can look different from one person to the next, we all know it when we see it. And I think I speak for everyone. We see it here. I now invite you to offer your words of vows to one another.
All right, this is the hard part. Enrique, I can't believe we are finally here. Today is the day I get to marry the most loving, secure, hilarious man in the world. 9 years ago, if you would have told me that we ended up together, I would have never believed you. We have gone from a couple of college kids who didn't know what we were doing to two adults who have created a home together full of love and laughter. I'm just so proud of us. Thinking back to our days at CSUN, it is just so clear to me that it has always been you. I can't quite explain it, but I have always been so drawn to you. Your dark sense of humor, the way your one dimple shows when you smirk, and your annoying and analytical brain, and how you balance me out perfectly. You are quite literally the calm to my crazy. One of the things that I admire about you is your desire to protect and stay close with your family. You always make time for them, check in on them, and put them at the top of your priority list. The gratitude you have for the hard work that they did to give you a better life shows how humble and gracious you are. I know you will be this way with our future family, and that makes me so happy. I have grown up with the perfect example of an A+ father and husband, and I'm not naive to the fact that those are extremely big shoes to fill. But you, my love, are exactly the man to fill them. I see so much of my father in you. Your ability to stay even-tempered, even when I may be spiraling. Your acceptance of my A-type personality. Your passion to protect my heart and create a safe place for us in this world. And most importantly, your willingness to rub my shoulders for hours and hours. Don't you have a handkerchief? Aren't you supposed to give that to me if I'm crying?
See, you're not crying yet.
I think I might be. Thanks. I have always dreamed that I would find a man as good as my father, and I know that I have found him. When I think about our future and how we will create our family, I can think of a million ways that you're going to make it perfect. You are going to build all the baby furniture, pack all the cars for our family camping trips, do all the taxes, bills, and pretty much hold down the fort. So I started thinking, what am I going to do for us? Well, here's my promise to you in our future. I promise to always remind you that you deserve this life, to emphasize that you created it with your hard work. You don't always give yourself enough credit, so I will make sure to give you the praise that you deserve. I promise to continue making 100% of your meals because I know the best way to your heart is through your stomach. I promise to push you to adventure and see the world because you are worthy of everything that the world has to offer. Plus, there is more to life than just hard work, you know. And most importantly, I promise to love you every single day for the rest of your life. Through the good and the bad, the ups and the downs, I promise I will be by your side, supporting you as your wife. I loved you when you were a silly frat boy who was trying to get rid of me. And I love you today as the man of my dreams. I will love you forever.
Your turn to hold this now.
Thanks.
All right. This is the hard part for me too. This is what I've been worried about.
This is the part I'm looking forward to.
Corinne, it's pretty crazy to realize that we're standing here today. For those who don't know, by pure chance, we met on Corinne's first day living in LA at some fine establishment called Dublin's. For the next few months, we had our share of fun together, and although I never spoke it out loud, I decided that you were too good for me. And I pushed you away. And not long after that, I realized I had made a huge mistake. And after nearly 8 years of that sitting on my conscience, I worked up the guts to talk to you again about a cauliflower wrap of all things. You made it very clear that this time I was going to be the one to put in the effort from the very beginning. There was one small issue. We lived 120 miles apart. It's been about 3 years since then, and funny enough, before we even started dating, I knew you were the one. As I turned on my car that day, I asked myself, man, am I really driving 2 hours to see this girl? What if she gives me COVID? Well, we met up and we went for a couple of drinks to figure out who you were. And needless to say, it went very well, even though I ended up catching strep, but whatever, it was worth it. The memories we've made together I cannot forget. Even the memories from college, although you don't remember any of that. Our first road trip, fresh into our relationship, we saw some of the most beautiful things that nature has to offer. A highlight of those was leaving the Grand Canyon and driving 8 hours through a snowstorm so thick you couldn't see where we were going. You were so scared, but you knew I was trapped, so you pulled out a book called 1,000 Questions to Get to Know Your Partner. And that was probably the scariest part of that trip for me. Even so, it ended up being the most memorable because we got to know each other so much more because of it. After hundreds of questions and hours of talking, I started to see a picture of what my future would look like, and I became excited because I saw you were there by my side every time I looked. Oh, and I can't forget our first Valentine's Day. We spent it in Sedona. That's where I learned that you think dogs can purr, I shouldn't eat cheese before a date, and we shared our first I love yous, even though you had to pull my teeth to get it out of me. One thing I grew to love was how well we balance each other out. And as much as you hate to say it, fulfill our gender roles. You cook and clean, I pay the bills and make sure the house doesn't fall apart. One day you'll be a mom, and one day I'll be a dad. You are teaching me to be more empathetic, and I try to get you to take a step back and analyze things, as much of an uphill battle that has been for both of us. You make me better in every way I can think of. You push me to do things I think I can't. You help me calm down when I feel like I'm trapped, and you fill up my calendar with things to do because all I ever want to do is stay in and do nothing. I appreciate all the love you have for your family because it lets me know you understand how much I love mine. I know that we will continue to love the same way our parents loved us when we have a family of our own. Even though I know it's not going to happen, I ask to be left alone so I can relax sometimes. But whenever you're gone, there's an emptiness if you're not next to me. Whenever you're not around, I miss the warm glow of love that fills the room you're in. You go out of your way to make sure everyone is happy around us. You're the most compassionate, selfless, and loving person I know. Now that we know a little better, I realize that we can have a real nice life. And I've gotten a good glimpse into that after we bought our first home together, and seeing a bit of what we be like as parents with our dog. I know you'll be an amazing mother to our children, more than anyone could ever ask for in a partner. And as we grow old in some lake house watching the sunset, I know that looking back at our own lives together, I won't want to have changed a thing. Because all the memories we made so far are amazing, and we're only getting started. So as I stand here in front of you, I promise that as your husband, I will find a way to make things work, whether in our relationship, family, or whatever life throws at us. I promise I will love you no matter how annoyed I get or how quiet I am while driving. And I promise that I will do whatever it takes to see you smile even in our most difficult times. Because we're going to be the greatest love story this town has ever seen.
Song references and everything. Good job.
I believe there are rings.
Does he have them?
Who has the rings?
Enrique, I'll take your book.
Stop.
Stop it.
Can you put them on my hand? Thank you. You have chosen to wear these rings as a symbol of all that you have said today, the vows that you have made to each other. And I hope when you look at them, you will remember this moment. You will put this ring on her finger.
For this moment.
Would you put this on his?
Is it this hand?
So the next thing is the kiss. But before, let me just offer a very simple blessing, if I can. May your marriage bring you all the exquisite excitement a marriage should. May you need one another, but not out of weakness. May you want one another, but not out of lack. May you look for things to praise and often say, I love you, and take no notice of small faults. May you have happiness, and may you find it making one another happy. May you have love, and may you find it in loving one another. I'm going to step out of the way, and I invite you, Enrique, to kiss your bride. Oh, it's my honor to introduce to you Mr. and Mrs. Serrano.
But everything is